You know, at some point, this car's going to outlive me, and at some point, who knows where it will go to, who will own it, or what will happen to it. But you and I know, and that's all that matters today. By the way, that brings up an interesting point. I've had an interesting thing happen, and it's a YouTuber out there. You know, I'm an old guy, and we love our old cars and stuff, but we die off, and after we die off, you've all seen it. You know, a car gets parked in the garage and barn and forgotten about. Barn falls down, or burns down, or something happens, and it's gone, and, you know, nobody's really around to care for it. And that doesn't always happen, but it does happen sometimes. But, you know, what does happen is over time, with no one caring for these cars, they deteriorate and cease to exist. And you've got a lot of choices when you're my age. You know, I'm not going to live forever. What do I do with a car like this, and who owns it next? And I don't think my son has an awful lot of interest in doing what you have to do to be dedicated to an old car like this, or my daughter, or, you know, Mike's son, or any of his family doesn't seem to have, you know, stepped up and asked me to save this for them. But I had a YouTuber get in touch with me, and he said, I'd like to propose something different. He said, I would like to buy your rat rod as an inheritance. And he said, you keep the car, I'll pay you money, and you put it in your will and let all your children know that when you die, that car goes to me. And I kind of thought about that a little bit, and then he kind of sent me a couple more messages, and he said, you know, have you thought about it? And I said, oh, well, I'm still thinking about it. And I am still thinking about it, but that's an interesting idea. One, you know, he's a young fella. He's out there recognizing that I'm not going to live forever, and he's interested enough in the rat rods right here to be willing to put some money down and create a situation where at some point in the future he could inherit that car from me. I'd never heard of that. I'd never heard of anybody doing that. It's not a bad idea. In fact, it's kind of a cool idea. So I'm still thinking about that, but I mean, I just thought I'd put that out there. I'm not going to identify who the person is because they may not want me to, but I mean, it certainly is something that we could be thinking about and talking about. Those of us who own older cars and you know, want to preserve them, want to see them preserved, and want to see somebody get them who can take care of them and things like that. So there's that for y'all to think about and consider and talk about amongst yourselves and all that. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about.